The crash and the clinic. The last thing I remembered clearly was the fire. My shuttle's engines screamed as they failed over the uncharted planet, designated only as XR-47 in the survey logs. I was Captain Elias Thorne, Terran Expeditionary Force, on a solo recon run after my squadron got scattered by a rogue ion storm. The hull breached, alarms blaring, and then nothing. Blackness. I woke up strapped to a table that definitely wasn't human. The air smelled like ozone and wet moss. Dim violet lights pulsed overhead, and the walls looked grown rather than built. Organic curves veined with bioluminescent strands. My flight suit was gone, replaced by a thin, silvery gown. Every muscle ached, but I was alive. A figure approached. Tall, willowy skin, the color of polished obsidian with faint silver traceries that shifted like living tattoos. For arms too, ending in delicate three-fingered hands, the lower pair, more robust, almost surgical. Its face was elongated, eyes large and luminous gold. No mouth visible until it spoke and a vertical slit parted. Patient conscious, it said in perfect galactic standard. Voice soft and melodic, like wind through glass chimes. Good. I am Doctor Vael'thrin of the Lyrani. You crashed. Badly. You were dying. I tried to sit up. Restraints held me gently but firmly. Where's my shuttle? My gear? Destroyed. Salvaged what could be? Your biology. Fascinating. So much redundancy. 2 lungs, 2 kidneys, backup circulatory pathways. Primitive, yet resilient. Primitive. Great. I'd heard that from a dozen alien species. Humans weren't the most advanced, but we survived things that should kill us. Fey, the old-timers called it. Humanity? Fuck yeah. Why am I restrained? You were convulsing. Internal bleeding. Multiple fractures. I stabilized you. But your genome Vael'thrin paused, one upper hand gesturing to a holographic display floating beside the table. My DNA spiral rotated there, sections highlighted in angry red, is incompatible with standard Lyrani regenerative protocols. I improvised. Improvised how? I introduced a tailored retrovirus to accelerate healing. It should knit bone, seal vessels, regenerate tissue. But human DNA is chaotic, unpredictable. There may be side effects. My stomach dropped. What kind of side effects? Unknown. Possibly none. Possibly. Significant alteration. I stared at the ceiling. An alien doctor had just rewritten my genes because I was too broken to fix the usual way. Fantastic. Define significant. Vael'thrin's golden eyes flickered. Your species may gain Lyrani traits, enhanced neural pathways, symbiotic dermal layering, longevity increase, or cellular collapse. 50-50, I laughed. Couldn't help it. The sound came out ragged. You gambled with my life. I saved your life. The alternative was certain death. Fair point. I stopped fighting the restraints. How long until we know? Hours, perhaps days. You will remain under observation. The doctor turned to leave, lower arms already manipulating unseen controls. Before the membrane door sealed behind them, Vael'thrin glanced back. Rest, Captain Thorne. Whatever happens, you are no longer merely human. The change I slept, or something like it. Dreams came in flashes my childhood on Mars colony, the academy, my first command, the faces of crewmates lost in the storm. Then new images, vast crystal cities floating in gas giants, songs that shaped matter, memories that weren't mine. I woke burning. Every cell felt on fire. I thrashed against the restraints until they snapped like they were made of tissue. Alarms chimed softly. Vael'thrin rushed in with 2 assistants, all 4 arms moving in practiced urgency. Metamorphic cascade initiated. The doctor said, scanning me with a handheld device. Faster than projected. I looked at my arms. The skin shimmered, faint silver lines tracing beneath the surface like circuitry coming alive. My vision sharpened. I could see individual motes of dust dancing in the violet light. Sounds layered heartbeats of the assistants, the hum of machinery 3 rooms away, the wind outside bending alien trees. What's happening to me? My voice sounded deeper, resonant. Your cells are integrating Lyrani adaptations. Neural density increasing. Dermal symbiosis forming. Strength parameters. Exceeding baseline human by 400%. I flexed a hand. The restraint remnants crumbled to powder. One assistant stepped back, eyes wide. He is becoming ascended. Vael'thrin silenced them with a sharp gesture. Not ascended. Hybrid. Unique. I swung my legs off the table. Standing felt effortless, like gravity had loosened its grip. You said 50-50. Am I dying or upgrading? Upgrading, Vael'thrin admitted, miraculously. But the process is incomplete. Pain will continue, and there may be psychological integration. Meaning, fragments of Lyrani ancestral memory sometimes accompany the change. You may experience visions, emotions not your own. We will monitor. Over the next days, or what passed 4 days under XR-47's 3 suns, the pain ebbed and flowed. Bones lengthened slightly. Muscles reknit denser. My skin took on the faintest obsidian sheen. I could hear thoughts not read minds, but sense emotional currents like ripples in water. Vael'thrin spent hours with me, teaching breathing techniques to manage the flood of sensation. The doctor's own emotions brushed against mine. Curiosity, guilt, and something deeper, loneliness. You risked your career for this, I said one evening. Sitting cross-legged on the clinic floor while Vael'thrin adjusted a nutrient drip, Lyrani medicine has strict rules about genetic alteration of sentience. The rules assume consent and compatibility. You were dying. I chose mercy over protocol. Pause. And curiosity. Your species fascinates us. So violent, yet so creative. So short-lived, yet you burn bright. I smiled. We call it stubbornness. The visions intensified. I saw Lyrani history, a pacifist civilization that achieved transcendence through genetic harmony, only to stagnate. They stopped evolving because nothing challenged them anymore. Then humans arrived in the galactic scene, crude, warlike, but innovating at breakneck speed. The Lyrani watched from afar, afraid and envious. One night the pain peaked. I collapsed, screaming as foreign memories flooded in, the grief of a Lyrani parent losing a child to entropy, the joy of sculpting living starships, the terror of first contact with a predatory species long extinct. Vael'thrin held me through it. All 4 arms wrapped around my shaking form. Breathe with me, Elias. Anchor to your own memories. You are still you. When it passed, I looked into those golden eyes and saw fear for the first time. The doctor was afraid. Not of me, for me. The integration is nearly complete, Vael'thrin whispered. But the final stage. It will decide if you stabilize as hybrid or if the human baseline rejects the changes. I may have doomed you after all. Everything I stood on the clinic's balcony overlooking a forest of crystalline trees that sang when the wind touched them. 3 weeks since the crash. My reflection in a polished panel showed someone halfway between human and Lyrani, taller. Skin like burnished obsidian shot through with silver. Eyes now faintly luminous. I felt like I could run forever, think faster, heal from wounds that would kill a normal man. But inside, 2 sets of instincts wrestled. Human stubbornness. Lyrani harmony. Sometimes they aligned. Sometimes they tore at each other. Vael'thrin approached, holding a small injector. It is time. This stabilizer will lock the hybrid genome. Success rate now, 92%. Your body has adapted better than any model predicted. And the 8%? Rejection. Death within minutes. I took the injector, turned it over in my hand. You could have let me die on the table. Followed protocol. Why risk everything for a primitive human? Vael'thrin, S. Vertical mouth curved an expression I'd learned was a smile. Because your species reminds us what it means to fight for tomorrow. We Lyrani grew complacent in our perfection. You refused to accept limits. I wanted to see what happens when that fire meets our harmony. I met those golden eyes. And if I survive, then you become the bridge. Proof that evolution need not choose between chaos and order. Pressed the injector to my neck. Hesitated. One more thing, I said. If I live, I'm not staying here as your experiment. I have a squadron out there. People who think I'm dead. I need to go home. Vael'thrin inclined its head. A Lyrani scout vessel is already en route to intercept human search patterns. They will take you. And one? A pause. I will accompany you. To study the long-term effects. And to learn what humans do with gifts they never asked for. I pressed the plunger. Cold fire raced through my veins. For a moment, nothing. Then every cell sang in harmony, human resilience braided with Lyrani grace. No rejection. Just balance. I exhaled, laughing in relief. Vael'thrin caught me as my knees buckled not from pain, but from the sheer overwhelming clarity of being more than I was. Months later, aboard a joint human-Lyrani research vessel, I stood on the bridge watching stars streak by. My new skin caught the light, silver lines glowing softly. Crew members human and Lyrani nodded with respect as I passed. I'd become the first hybrid ambassador, carrying proof that humanity's chaotic spark could ignite even the most advanced civilizations. Vael'thrin stood beside me, forearms folded, golden eyes reflecting the view screen. Your mistake saved me, he said quietly. No, the doctor replied. Your strength turned my mistake into something greater. I smiled. Out there, the galaxy waited bigger, stranger, and now just a little more human. Humanity, fuck yeah.